In the back of the book segment tonight, the Biden factor. As the will he or won't he game continues, there are new reports that the Clinton campaign is trying to keep Joe Biden out of the presidential race. In a conference call with the DNC, Biden himself still seems to be undecided.
If I were to announce to run, I have to be able to commit to all of you that I would be able to give it my whole heart and my whole soul. And right now, both are pretty well banged up, and we're trying to figure out that issue.
Joining us now from Charlottesville with analysis, University of Virginia political scientist Larry Sabato, and from the Boston Globe newsroom, their political reporter James Pindell. Okay, Larry, let me begin with you. On top of the reports that Hillary's trying to keep Joe Biden out, there are also reports her campaign thinks it has an edge in getting delegates. They leaked that. What do you make of that? And is that part of a bigger strategy?
Well, they're clearly trying to keep him out. They don't want the incumbent vice president running against them because it means they'll have to devote a lot of time and attention and money and everything else to just beating Joe Biden. They'd rather put that on the general. But look, they do have an edge in delegates. Democrats are in love with these super delegates. They can be 20% or so of the convention. Clinton has been collecting them already. She's got 118 of the 232 Democratic members of Congress already pretty solidly behind her. They're all super delegates. So they do have an edge.
And so let me stay with you, Larry. So with this edge, and she puts it out there that we have them, is that a signal to Joe Biden saying, hey, don't even bother right now. I'm almost there. There's no bother wasting your time or your donors' money?
Hillary Clinton and the Clinton campaign don't want to come down hard on Biden. That would simply encourage him to get in. But what they're doing is sending subtle signals to him saying, Joe, look at this objectively. We're way ahead of you in money. We're way ahead of you in organization. We're already way ahead of you in delegates. Why would you want to go out this way?
Okay. So, James, Joe Biden met with Richard Trumka yesterday. Very interesting, the labor leader Trumka. He also met, for me, very important, on a weekend, sat down with Elizabeth Warren, and people knew about this. What's that all about? What's he telling the world?
Look, he's trying to methodically figure out if there is a path to actually run a legitimate candidacy for president. And I think it's important to step back and recognize the moment we're in. Yes, the Joe Biden decision is the last remaining question mark of the 2016 race in terms of fundamentally changing up who's running and who's not. That is obviously the big question. But this is not 1991 when the world and all Democrats are waiting around to see if Mario Cuomo was going to run for president, right? He was both the liberal dream and the Democrat who polls said had the best chance of beating the Republican incumbent president. That's not what's happening right now. I mean, Joe Biden is your college safety school. Okay, if the first option doesn't work out, he'll be just fine. But if you want to look at all the polling, there isn't a single state where he's in the lead. In fact, most often
he hasn't even announced. I can't imagine how he's in the lead. Let's do it this way. I'll stay with you, James. What's better for Hillary Clinton? Look, there are people who say Hillary Clinton needs a credible, competitive candidate to run against to make her a better candidate, or is that all nonsense? That's just going to waste her money. Stay with you, James, first.
Well, clearly she'll be a better candidate if she's significantly challenged, but she does not want Joe Biden in this race. You know, before in the spring, we wondered whether or not he would take from the anti-Hillary vote or if he would actually take from the Hillary/establishment vote. Now we know, polling is pretty consistent, that he is the establishment candidate. And the moment that he gets in the race, now Democrats suddenly have another option. Right now they have an option with Hillary and a protest vote with Bernie. If Joe Biden were to get in the race, Democrats can now actually begin to wonder if they actually have a choice.
Larry, very importantly, a lot of this rhetoric going back and forth. Where are the Obamas? Where is President Obama as far as Hillary Clinton or Biden? It sounds like he is encouraging a Biden run.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think people had thought that Obama had resolved the matter, at least internally, and decided to, if not support Hillary, to do what he could for her behind the scenes. But that wasn't the message that came out from the White House a few days ago. In fact, the suggestion was made that Obama might even endorse at some point in the contest. Well, that certainly encourages Biden. It gives him hope. Having said that, I think the Obama White White House would be just as happy if Biden didn't run. It really increases the pressure on Obama, and it potentially splits the Democratic Party in ways they don't want to see.
But Larry, for President Obama, with that grassroots, door-to-door organization that he had and probably still retains, that's a huge plus for Joe Biden. Even though he hasn't done anything yet, that's a big jumping in point for him.
Well, Eric, it would be if Obama could transfer it to Biden, but I don't think that's possible. Some of it, a good deal of it actually, has already gone to Hillary Clinton. A lot of the staffers, a lot of the tools of the trade, and what hasn't gone to Hillary has mainly gone to Bernie Sanders. I don't think people are going to, call up Bernie and Hillary and say, hey, Joe Biden's just dropped in. I've decided to end my association with your campaign. That's just not going to happen.
James, one thought.
Outside of Delaware.
James, one thought. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump for a general election. How interesting would that get?
It'd be amazing. But I think the Bernie Sanders versus Trump is what we're really watching. And who wins Ohio? That would decide the election. Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
Larry, quick thought on this before we go. Trump, Biden?
Trump, Biden, I think we'd have an instant book there, a book of gas, and they'd each contribute about half the book.
I can't imagine. We certainly have an abundance of material to work with. All right, guys, thank you very much. Great talking to both of you, Larry and James. Appreciate it.